Hi, welcome back. Imagine holding a tiny copper coin that could pay for your car, or even your house. Today we're going deep into the fascinating stories of the 5 most rare and valuable coins ever struck in American history. First up, 1969's Lincoln cent doubled die Obverse. In the world of coin errors, few carry the mystique and the electrifying excitement of the 1969's Lincoln cent with the doubled die Obverse. It's one of those coins that even veteran collectors speak of with a kind of reverence. A modern legend born not from intention, but from the rarest kind of minting mistake. The year is 1969. The Vietnam War dominates headlines. Neil Armstrong steps onto the moon, and in the background, at the San Francisco Mint, a monumental accident occurs, one that would remain mostly hidden for decades. As new dies were being prepared for the Lincoln cent series, one obverse die somehow received a doubled image of the design. The doubling on this coin is incredibly dramatic and easily visible to the naked eye. Even for non-collectors, the words "Liberty" and "In God We Trust" appear as though they're vibrating with life. The date, 1969, itself shows a shadow-like doubling that seems almost three-dimensional. This isn't the kind of doubling caused by machine doubling or die wear. This is true hub doubling, crisp, sharp, and undeniable. At first, very few collectors even knew about the coin's existence. It wasn't until some specimens began surfacing in circulation that the wider numismatic community became aware. But even then, for a while, the story takes a dark and surprising turn. In the early 1970s, a number of these coins were seized by the U.S. Secret Service. Why? Because at that time, the government suspected that the coins might have been counterfeit due to their strange appearance. The doubled features were so bold that some agents believed they were artificially produced fakes. But as experts studied the coins further, they realized they were genuine mint errors, authentic products of the San Francisco Mint. Today, the 1969's doubled die Obverse Lincoln cent remains one of the most sought-after modern U.S. coins. It's not just the error itself, but also the incredible rarity that fuels its value. It's estimated that fewer than 100 genuine examples exist, and only a fraction of those are in higher grades. In circulated condition, a $1.69's doubled die cent can command prices upwards of $3,000 to $5,000. In uncirculated, gem-quality condition, prices soar far beyond $8,000, with some specimens selling for over $100,000 at major auctions. In 2008, one MS-64 red example sold for nearly $26,500, an astonishing figure for a single cent. For many collectors, finding one of these coins in change remains the ultimate dream. It's the modern equivalent of striking gold. Stories still circulate of individuals who stumbled upon one unexpectedly, a true treasure hiding in plain sight. Numismatists emphasize that authentication is crucial when dealing with this coin because many counterfeits exist, including altered coins and so-called garage jobs. Trusted grading services like FES and NGC play a vital role in ensuring that these coins are properly verified and preserved. The 1969's doubled die Lincoln cent embodies everything that fascinates people about coin collecting: mystery, rarity, history, and the thrill of discovery. It's a reminder that sometimes even the smallest coins can hold the greatest secrets. Next up, 1955 Lincoln cent doubled die Obverse, a coin that became famous almost overnight and remains one of the most iconic error coins in American numismatic history. The story of the 1955 doubled die Lincoln cent begins with a simple human mistake. In 1955, at the Philadelphia Mint, as dies were being created for production, one obverse die accidentally received a doubled impression during hubbing. Unlike some minor doubled dies, where the doubling is faint or requires magnification, the doubling on the 1955 cent is so dramatic that even casual observers can see it immediately. The entire motto, "In God We Trust," appears as if it was printed twice. The word "Liberty" is thickly doubled, and the date 1955 stands out sharply with an almost ghost-like second image offset to the east. This isn't a trick of the eye. It's bold, crisp, and unmistakable. What makes this coin even more fascinating is how it entered circulation. In the mid-1950s, the Philadelphia Mint was operating 24 hours a day to meet the country's growing demand for coinage. Quality control at the time was far less advanced than it is today. During a late-night shift, one press operator mistakenly fed a doubled die Obverse into the production line. Before anyone noticed, tens of thousands of coins were struck and mixed. With regular, 955 cents. By the time mint officials discovered the mistake, many of the double die cents had already been shipped to banks and entered circulation. Some estimates suggest that around 2,000 to 24,000 examples may have been released. Unlike the 1969s, which stayed hidden for years, the 1955 double die cent gained national attention almost immediately. Newspaper stories featured lucky people who found one in their pocket change. The coin quickly became famous not only among numismatists but also among the general public. People began searching their pennies like never before, sparking one of the first great coin hunts in modern American history. Values for the 1955 double die cent have always been strong and steady. In circulated grades, these coins can bring in anywhere from $1,000 to $2,500. In uncirculated grades, especially MS63 red and above, prices skyrocket to $10,000, $2,000 and even beyond. In 2018, a gorgeous MS65 red example fetched over $14,000 at auction. Even today, more than half a century later, finding a 1955 double die Lincoln cent is considered one of the greatest thrills a collector can experience. Entire collections are built around acquiring just one. What truly adds to the appeal of both the 1955 and the 1969s doubled die cents is that they serve as perfect symbols of how errors, unintentional products of human or mechanical failure, can create something far more valuable than the intended perfection. They're beautiful accidents frozen in copper, and they continue to captivate generation after generation of collectors. As technology advanced, the U.S. Mint implemented more rigorous quality control procedures to reduce the chances of such major double dies occurring again. And while minor doubling still appears occasionally, examples as dramatic as the 1955 and 1969s remain extremely rare. Both coins have become more than just collectible currency. They are now part of American coin lore. They've been featured in books, television shows, documentaries, and auction catalogs. They continue to inspire both seasoned collectors and brand new hobbyists who dream of finding that one-in-a-million coin in a roll of pennies or at a flea market. Next up, the story of the 1970s Washington quarter, struck on a 1941 Canadian quarter. Planchet is one that almost sounds like fiction, but it's very real. This coin has stunned collectors for decades because of the extraordinary set of circumstances that had to occur for it to exist. We travel back to the year 1970, the San Francisco Mint is busy producing proof coinage for collectors. Every detail is executed with extreme care, precision, and quality. Proof coins are meant to be perfect, flawless examples of the Mint's craftsmanship. Yet somehow, in the middle of this highly controlled environment, a coin was struck that defies logic. One Planchet, not an American Planchet, somehow made its way into the U.S. Mint's production line. This foreign Planchet was actually from a 1941 Canadian quarter. The Planchet was composed of 80% silver and 20% copper, with a slightly smaller diameter and lighter weight than a standard U.S. quarter Planchet. How did it get there? That remains one of the great mysteries. Some speculate that leftover Planchets from World War II coinage exchanges may have still existed in mint storage. Others believe that a mix-up in blank shipments occurred at the metal supplier. Regardless of how it happened, the fact remains. A Canadian Planchet entered the U.S. Mint facility unnoticed. The minting presses struck this Planchet with the Washington's quarter design intended for 1970s proof coins. The result? A perfect proof strike of a U.S. Washington quarter design. But on the wrong Planchet. Because the Planchet was slightly smaller, the coin came out slightly undersized and lighter than normal. Even the reeded edge appears incomplete due to the smaller diameter of the foreign Planchet. What truly makes this error legendary is its extreme rarity. To date, only one verified example has surfaced. This isn't a mass error. This is a one-of-a-kind minting anomaly. It combines several elements that collectors crave: wrong Planchet, wrong metal composition, proof strike, and an international twist. The coin made headlines when it was certified and authenticated by NGC. Its unique characteristics make it instantly recognizable, weighing just under 5 grams, with the distinctive silver content and undersized strike. The 1970s Washington quarter. On a 1941 Canadian, Planchet became an instant sensation. When this coin appeared at auction, collectors went wild. The realized price? A staggering $35,000, and that's conservative. In today's heated coin market, an example of this rarity could easily demand $4,000. 5,000, or even more if it ever reappeared on the market. Beyond the value lies the true power of this coin. It represents one of those moments where pure chance creates something that was never supposed to exist. A small silver coin created by accident becomes a legendary piece of American numismatic history. But believe it or not, the 1970s wrong Planchet quarter isn't even the most shocking error ever made by the U.S. Mint. That honor may very well belong to the next coin, one that blends two entirely different denominations into a single stunning hybrid. Next up, the famous 2000p Sacagawea dollar. Washington quarter Mule error. When the United States Mint launched the new Sacagawea dollar in the year 2000, it was meant to usher in a new era of dollar coins. The golden color, smooth edge, and depiction of Sacagawea with her child marked a major change from the previous Susan B. Anthony dollar. But deep inside the Philadelphia Mint, something extraordinary was about to happen. At some point during production, a Sacagawea dollar reverse die was accidentally paired with a Washington quarter Obverse die. The result? A coin that bears George Washington's portrait on the Obverse and the soaring eagle reverse of the Sacagawea dollar. A combination that should not and could not exist under normal circumstances. This kind of error is known as a mule in numismatics. A mule occurs when two dies intended for different coins are mistakenly paired together. Mules are exceptionally rare, and most are caught long before they leave the mint. But in this case, several specimens escaped detection. Even more remarkable is that these mules were struck on the golden-colored manganese brass planchets, intended for the Sacagawea dollar. So when you look at one of these coins, your mind instantly recognizes something is wrong. The familiar image of George Washington appears, but the coin's color, size, and edge scream dollar, not quarter. The discovery of these mules sent shockwaves through the numismatic world. The first examples were discovered by dealer Frank Wallace in Arkansas. As word spread, collectors frantically began searching for additional pieces. Over time, about 19 authenticated examples have been confirmed by PCGS and NGC, making this one of the rarest major U.S. Mint errors ever. The coin's value reflects its breathtaking rarity. Early sales of the first known specimens reached $29,000 to $4,000. As demand grew and more collectors recognized the importance of the coin, prices surged even higher. Some examples have sold for over $75,000, with particularly high-grade specimens exceeding $100,000 at auction. What adds to the mystique of this mule error is its combination of factors. Two completely different denominations, two distinct series, two different eras of design, all struck together on an entirely different planchet. It's the kind of mistake that shouldn't happen, and yet it did. And that's exactly why collectors are so drawn to it. Many experts consider the 2000p Sacagawea mule to be one of the greatest U.S. coin errors of all time, sitting alongside legendary pieces like the 1955 doubled Die Lincoln cent and the 1933 St. Gaudens double eagle. Both the 1970s Washington quarter on the Canadian planchet and the 2000p Sacagawea mule error share something magical. They are not just minting mistakes. They are rare pieces of history where human error collided with chance to create something truly special. They remind collectors why the search for rare coins remains thrilling after so many years. Because somewhere out there, mistakes like these could still be waiting to be discovered. Next up, the story of the 1964 SMS Kennedy half dollar doesn't begin like most coins. This is not a coin that was mass-produced for circulation. This is not a coin that you would have found in your change. This is a coin that may never have been intended for public release at all. To truly understand how special this coin is, we have to travel back to 1963, one of the most heartbreaking years in American history. In November of that year, the nation was rocked by the assassination of President John F. Kennedy. In the days and weeks that followed, a national movement began to memorialize the fallen president in a lasting and meaningful way. And so in early 1964, the United States Mint rapidly designed and released the new Kennedy half dollar to honor his memory. Millions upon millions of 1964 Kennedy half dollars were struck that year, both in Philadelphia and Denver, and they quickly became treasured keepsakes for a grieving nation. But somewhere behind closed doors at the U.S. Mint, something else was happening. Something few people knew about. A handful of very special 64 Kennedy half dollars were being struck, unlike any others. These coins weren't ordinary circulation strikes. They weren't even normal proofs. They were produced with an experimental striking process, known today as the Special Mint Set, or SMS format. But the 1964 SMS wasn't like the SMS sets officially issued between 1965 and 1967. These were earlier, experimental strikes that were never officially offered to the public. Only a tiny handful of these coins are known to exist. In fact, for decades, no one even knew they existed. It wasn't until the 1990s that the first 1964 SMS Kennedy $half surfaced at auction, shocking the numismatic world and sparking one of the greatest modern coin mysteries. What makes these coins so special? It's all in the striking process and their appearance. The coins display extraordinary surfaces, far superior to regular business strikes. They have a unique satin or semi-proof-like finish, razor-sharp details, and virtually flawless fields. The dies were polished to an extreme degree, creating coins that glisten with a smooth, almost liquid-like luster. The devices, such as Kennedy's portrait, display incredible depth and sharpness, far beyond what typical 1964 business striker-proof coins exhibit. The edges of these coins are also sharp and fully struck, with crisp, uniform reading. Even the smallest details, like Kennedy's hair and the feathers on the eagle's wings, are executed with pinpoint precision. These are coins that immediately stand out to expert collectors. But the mystery doesn't end with how they look. The biggest question has always been, why were they made? And how did they escape the mint? There are many theories, but no confirmed answers. Some believe they were experimental strikes created as the mint prepared for the SMS series that officially began in 1965, as the mint transitioned away from producing proof sets during the coin shortage. Others believe they were produced as presentation pieces for VIPs, perhaps even government officials close to the Kennedy family. Some numismatists suggest they may have been made by mint officials or employees under unofficial circumstances. No official U.S. mint documentation has ever confirmed their purpose or authorized production, only deepening the mystery surrounding them. What we do know is that all known examples appear to have originated from the estate of former Mint Director Eva Adams, who served during that critical time period. This has led many experts to conclude that these coins may have been struck specifically for internal mint use or presentation purposes. As of today, fewer than 20 genuine examples of the 1964 SMS Kennedy $half are known to exist. Each one has been certified and studied extensively by professional grading services like PCGS and NGC. Their extreme rarity, combined with their beautiful appearance and mysterious origins, makes them one of the most coveted modern coins in American numismatics. The value of these coins reflects their extraordinary status. While a normal 1964 Kennedy $half might be worth a small premium for its 90% silver content, an authentic 1964 SMS Kennedy $half sells for astonishing prices. In lower uncirculated condition, one may fetch $2,000 to $5,000, but in the highest grades, particularly SP67 and SP68, prices have reached upwards of $75,000, $100,000, and even beyond. In fact, one of the finest known examples sold for over $28,000 at public auction. For many collectors, the 1964 SMS Kennedy $half sits at the very top of their wish lists. It represents the perfect combination of mystery, beauty, rarity, and historical importance. It is not just a coin. It is a secret piece of American mint history. Even today, decades after their discovery, the fascination with these coins continues to grow. Collectors still debate how many truly exist. Some even speculate that there may still be a few more, hidden away in private collections or forgotten government holdings, waiting to be discovered. For coin collectors and numismatists, the 1964 SMS Kennedy $half serves as a powerful reminder of why this hobby is so thrilling. Because sometimes, history hides itself in plain sight in a small, round, silver coin that tells a story no one ever expected. The next time you look at an ordinary Kennedy $half, remember, while millions were made, just a handful hold the kind of mystery and value that could change your life forever. The 1964 SMS Kennedy $half is proof that in the world of coins, anything is possible, and some of the greatest treasures are still waiting to be discovered.